You spent your life being told what to see. From the textbooks in your classroom to the anchors on your evening news, the world has been painted in broad, comfortable strokes. But what if that painting was a cover-up? What if the sleep you've been living in isn't a state of peace, but a state of containment? The Great Awakening isn't just a term for religious revival, it's the modern day realization that the reality we've been handed is a carefully curated simulation of power. It started in its modern sense as a quiet whisper in the corners of the internet, a collective red pilling where people stopped asking what happened and started asking who benefits from the lie. It's the peeling back of the curtain on a global architecture of control that has existed since long before we were born. But this isn't just a theory, it's a map. And believe it or not, the blueprints for this great awakening were hidden in plain sight, codified in a game that predicted the future of global power for over 30 years. We're going to pull back the curtain on 5 pillars of this false reality. Each one is a rabbit hole deep enough to swallow your perception of history. 1. The Antarctic Mystery beneath the world's most guarded continent lies more than just ice. We're talking about massive, impossible structures, black, geometry-defying pyramids that have no place in human history. Why is there a global ban on independent travel there? Why are the governments hiding under that shelf of ice? So, this brings us to the first card that explains things in a shell. This card suggests that the continent is a vault, a place where the rules of our known world simply stop applying. And this card is called the Thule group. Now, this brings us to our second topic, inner Earth civilizations. What if the Earth isn't just a rock spinning in space, but a hollowed out system? Legends of Argotha are secret underground networks, and the possibility that we are not the only ones sharing this planet, just the ones kept on the surface. And the card for this is Deep Underground Military Bases, or D.U.M.s, a nod to the massive hidden infrastructure that exists beneath our feet away from the prying eyes of the public. Then we have the Vatican, a whole thing on its own, okay? They hold the largest private archive in human history. Secrets about our origins, our religions, and our potential are locked behind walls of silence. So why does the church know the truth about our place in the cosmos, and why are they the ones who get to decide what we know? And the card that represents this topic is the Vatican, representing the immense ancient influence that manipulates global history from the shadows of theology. Number 4, ancient artificial intelligence. Now forget the silicon chips in your phone. We are talking about archaeological AI, ancient dormant systems found in the ruins of lost civilizations that are being woken up today. Is the technology defining our future actually a relic of our past? Now the card for this one is called computers. A simple card that in the context of the game suggests the digital shackles that were planned for us long before the internet was invented. Now we have the Galactic Federation. The final frontier isn't space, it's the visitors. If the Great Awakening is true, then we aren't alone. We are a managed species, and the Galactic Federation is either our shepherd or our jailer. Now the card that represents this one is called UFOs, the ultimate wild card that challenges every government narrative about our place in the universe. So, now that we've broken that down, where do you stand? The world you were born into is currently being dismantled. Whether this is a path to liberation or the final stage of a control grid, the shift is already happening. And I want to hear from you. Do you believe these systems are designed to protect us or to keep us in the dark? So, drop your comment below for that. Let's talk about which one of these pillars keeps you up at night. So while we do that, I want to move forward to Antarctica, the Black Pyramids of the Ellsworth. Now, range satellite imagery has exposed massive geometric shapes rising out of the snow. Black, sharp-edged pyramids. The official narrative calls them natural rock formations, but in the history of the occult, pyramids are power plants. Now the Illuminati card for this is called Pyramid Power. This card represents the control of ancient high-frequency energy by keeping the masses away from these natural structures. The powers that be ensure that the true lost civilization technology of our ancestors remains exclusively in their hands. The ice wall and the other side, if you look at the UN logo, you see a map of the Earth. But it's not the globe you learned in school. It's a flat Earth projection ringed by ice. Many now believe the ice wall isn't a geographical feature, but a containment perimeter. The Illuminati card that represents this is Island of the Earth. This card is the ultimate metaphor for the cage that we live in, and implies that our known reality is just a small, portioned off area of a much larger, vast system. Now, when you look at the ice wall, you aren't looking at the end of the world, you're looking at the border of our enclosure. So now we have secrets beneath the ice, which, like, why would the world's elite and military superpowers pour billions of dollars into a desert where nothing grows? The theory: deep underground military bases. These aren't just bunkers, they are entire subterranean cities connected by high-speed transit, housing everything from lost history to the things that are not human. Now, this brings us to the card, Deep Underground Military Bases. This is the backbone of the Great Awakening. It suggests that the real world isn't happening in Washington or London. It's happening in the dark, miles beneath the frozen crust, where they are waiting for the surface world to finish its cycle. But let's talk about prehistoric monsters for a minute. Explorers from Admiral Byrd to modern-day whistleblowers have spoken of creatures that defy biology, entities frozen in time and now being thawed. As the planet warms, the ancient ones are being recovered by deep state retrieval teams. And that's where we get this card, Secrets Man Was Not Meant to Know. This card perfectly summarizes the horror of the Antarctic thaw. Some things are buried for a reason. When we break the ice, we aren't just uncovering history, we are inviting back entities that shouldn't be part of the modern world. So now I'll leave you guys with this. The Antarctic Treaty is a wall of silence that every nation on Earth has agreed to maintain. But why? Are they hiding a dead civilization or a living, thriving one that we've been told doesn't exist? I want to know where you stand. Do you believe the ice wall is just a conspiracy, or is it the fact that nobody is allowed to explore the continent freely a giant red flag? Drop a comment below. Let's build the map together. Which of these Antarctic anomalies scares you the most? Next time, we're going to dig deeper. We're moving from the frozen surface to the subterranean. We're talking about the D.U.M.s, the hidden cities beneath your feet, and the reports of the inner Earth civilizations. Are we living on the surface of a hollow world, or are we just the ones left in the dark? The deeper we go, the less you'll recognize your reality. So until next time, I love you guys, stay safe, and remember, don't drink that. I'm out of here.